All right, guys, first and foremost, I want to thank you for tuning into this video. I was going to share a little bit about this project I've been working on, creating the track kit for this Traxxas X-Maxx. My brother came up with a pretty fun name. I think we're going to call it the Maxx Traxx. But anyways, a little bit of a backstory. I recently got into 3D printing, which led to me also getting into learning a CAD software called Fusion 360, which I knew absolutely nothing about, but I had been thinking about a couple different ideas, and I really wanted to dive in head first, and this is what I came up with. It has taken a couple iterations to get here, but I'm super happy with how it's turned out. I'm pumped to share it with you guys. I hope you get the chance to print it yourselves, and yeah. So hope you enjoy. Try to get some good pictures. Just look at this. So a little bit of info on the track kit. It is currently printed 100% in PLA. Now I know it's not the strongest material, but it is cheap and it prints relatively easy and fast. So I kind of wanted to just have like a proof of concept before I sunk too much time and money into this. I already have a lot of time designing everything in Fusion and then redesigning it and reprinting it again. So I figured if it just completely got destroyed or blew apart, then I would try a stronger material. I have since experimented printing a couple track links out of TPU, which I thought would be the best option until I realized how long TPU takes to print. For 2 of the track links, it took over 2 hours, which compared to the PLA, it only took 30 minutes. I just couldn't justify all that time, so we're going to see how the PLA track links hold up, which so far so good. I haven't had any issues with them breaking or anything breaking, so we're going to keep running it for now. But anyways, I get into more of the assembly later on. Man, I'm so bad at filming at the same time. I want to get like a... Alrighty, so the first thing first, we'll talk about the track links. It takes 33 links per track, and that's 132 links in total for the vehicle. That's daunting. I need to get that out of the way, but I assure you that is the hardest part of this whole build. Once you have the links done, everything is easier from there. I pin it together using this steel safety wire. It's 17 gauge. It allows for like a really nice fit, not too tight, and just the right tolerance to be kind of malleable and loose, which is what I learned that you need. So the tracks do take supports. They're very minor. I don't use auto supports. I do manual just in the center. I guess I should have gotten a clip of that, but you can kind of see where like the gear drive goes. So it's very small. They snap right out. It was really good. Next up, I put the bearings in the track frame, I call it. These are 47 by 35 by 7 millimeter bearings. I have a link in the description for all the hardware. They snap in, super good tolerance, at least for my printer. If you have any issues, I guess we can try to work that out. But these were just a quick design that I started with, but they've been working so far, so I'm sticking with them. I'm happy. They have a little bit of a tensioner slot in the rear just to tension the tracks. I have found that you will need to tension them a little bit as the tracks kind of wear in and bed in, but I just basically printed off like a little piece of something to stick in there and hold the track back. I think in the future I want to design like a spring tensioner that is adjustable, and it just seems like it would work better, so I'll keep working on that. The drive wheel is actually printed in 2 separate prints. It saved over 2 hours of printing because I can show you later on, but the first iteration was single piece and was just way too much support, way too long to print. And this way, if it does chew the drive gear up, you can replace it easier. It prints in like 50 minutes or so, as well as the drive axle prints in about 50 minutes. The axle takes a little bit of support, but it's not too bad. These are the threaded rods I use for the bogey wheels axle. They are 1024 thread, just threaded rod. I cut them down to length, and I use these nylock nuts. I just got them at my local hardware store. These are also the bearings that go in the bogey wheels. They are a 10 by 5 millimeter by 4 bearing. I showed you those ones before. But yeah, those little axles are easy to snip with pliers, and then I just kind of filed the ends down. You can see I got all 4 in place there. Got them not too tight, not too loose, and everything is rolling really good. One more quick thing about the drive wheel and drive axle. I do put a little bit of hot glue between it and just on the face of it you can see there, and that's just to help keep them together. The tolerances came out really nice. I was happy how they fit together, but I just didn't want them to come apart and cause an issue when I'm out driving around. So from here I just take the whole assembly, put it on the track, and then it's kind of hard to do one-handed, but I just wrap the track around it and eventually pin it together with the safety wire. It actually works out really well. The 33 links is like perfectly tensioned at the beginning. I did notice once I drove it around for maybe 30 minutes or 40 minutes that they were a little bit looser, and that's when I ended up putting pieces of plastic in the axle just to push it back and tension it a bit. But you can see that they roll really nice. I was super happy with how these are turning out. They're smooth, and you can see the tensioner in the back there. But yeah, so I'm super happy with that. One quick thing I forgot to mention, when you're printing the track frame out, just mirror one of them in your slicer to make a pair. And it just keeps it simple. You don't need a left and a right. So, oh, and the bogey wheels are printed in halves. So you also just need 2 of those to make a pair. So it's simple, saves on support. You don't have to worry about right and left. Yeah, I just like keeping things simple. And also the more support and time you can save, the easier this gets. There's a pretty good shot here. You can see the safety wire that I just bent on either side. It's primitive, I know, but it holds together pretty good. Here I am printing my last track frame for the whole kit. But yeah, the safety wire ended up working pretty good, and I haven't had any issues with them falling apart. So this was my first iteration of my drive gear and axle, and it is a smaller diameter. I'll explain why in a minute, but it took 3.5 hours to print, and it used so much filament. It was just way overkill. And because it was a smaller diameter, the track actually rubbed on the front bulkheads of the X-Maxx. So that's why I went with a slightly larger diameter, and then I went to a 2-piece design to save on material. And also, I think it'll be good if you ever wear out the drive gears. You don't have to spend 3.5 hours printing another one. You know, it's about 50 minutes each with a 0.06 nozzle. So, I don't know, it saved so much time. I thought it was worth it. And I was happy with how they turned out, so. So, yeah, that's about all it takes to assemble it. I'll try to think if there's anything else, but I'll throw in a couple more driving clips at the end here, as well as some pictures, because I'll tell you what, these things look sick in person. They are aggressive. They make it look stanced out. I just absolutely love how they turned out aesthetically. So this was actually a pretty cool clip. That's about 3/4 throttle taken off there, and I mean, you can see the water coming off the grass. They hold up no problem. I mean, I even managed to get a little bit of air time. So it is fun to crawl around with it, because you don't really do much crawling with an X-Maxx. I don't know, I kind of like it. I'm definitely itching to get this thing in some more snow. I think with how wide they are, that once it gets into like some deep powder, it is going to be absolutely amazing at that point. So we'll see if that ever happens. I've had some people ask about the limiter straps. So right now I'm just using zip ties that kind of hold the tracks from moving in their place. You can see they move a little bit when you hit a rough patch, but it's working well so far. I think I'm gonna design like a TPU strap in the future, but I'll keep you guys updated on that. I will say, for not having that much snow, they're still pretty fun to drive around. I did probably a 1/2 to 3/4 little punch right there and was impressed with them. I don't want to just like go full out, because I wanted to actually enjoy driving it after all the hard work I did. And I did encounter the track popping off right here. You'll see, I think it might have been because of that little side hill, but this was also before I tensioned them. So that's just something to look out for. I think with a spring tensioner, like I was talking about, it should mitigate that pretty well. But thanks again for watching, guys. If you have any questions or if you have any ideas for improvements, please comment, message me. I would love to see if you guys have any ideas to make these better, and thanks for watching.